Several states out west have created a health alliance with the goal of setting their own vaccine recommendations. Hawaii, Washington, California, and Oregon are coming together in the face of drastic health policy changes under the Trump administration. And these include long-standing vaccine recommendations from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Many health experts have warned changes to vaccine requirements could have severe health consequences. Governor of one of those states, Hawaii, joins us now. Governor Josh Green there. Governor, thank you very much for being with us here tonight. Can you talk about what led you to decide to join this alliance with your fellow governors and who is going to be driving its recommendations?
Thank you. Yeah, I joined it because I believe that they're doing the right thing. I'm a physician first before being a governor, and we have to have some sanity. We have to follow science and best practices. And so I'm very proud of the three governors that already stepped in to the fray, the governors of California, Washington, and Oregon. And hopefully other governors will want to join us over time. But we have to basically protect our children and our elderly with best practices in science. And that will be borne out in the future. It's not partisan. I hate to bash Secretary Kennedy, but he's wrong on vaccinations. And so we're going to have to do our part to make sure science prevails.
And Governor Green, we should point out the CDC has dismissed this alliance, telling the Associated Press that they would be the ones to, in their words, ensure policy is based on rigorous evidence and gold standard science, not the failed politics of the pandemic. What is your response to that?
They're stoned. Honestly, this is outrageous. We had the best outcomes during the pandemic in our state. We had the best vaccination rates, the lowest mortality rate. I led that initiative as lieutenant governor, and they're actually using politics. We're using science. I don't care how many times they say it or how many political games they play. They really need to move away from that kind of rhetoric. We have to all come together as a nation. We've seen tragedy with our division. We actually need to come together and depoliticize healthcare. I've been a part of a lot of different hearings in and around RFK Jr. It's politics day and night. He's not doing the president any favors. He's not doing the country any favors. We have a measles outbreak. We're going to start seeing things like polio. You're going to see a surge in COVID fatalities if we're not careful. So they got to move on from this. I would like to see Mr. Kennedy work in areas of nutrition and processed foods. I respect him in those areas. We respect his work on pesticides, but they do not know what they're doing on vaccinations, and they are destroying the confidence that we have in our healthcare providers, doctors, nurses, social workers. Let's tamp down the politics, guys, and actually do what's right based on science.
And Governor Green, as you point out, you have a rather unique vantage point because you yourself have worked as a doctor in your community. What has been your message to the people in your state amid all this uncertainty we're seeing?
It's follow the science. We led very strongly during COVID. Actually, I worked closely with the first Trump administration. They offered me the vaccinations. I accepted them happily. I was so proud of the president when he engineered Operation Warp Speed to completion to protect Americans. That's why it is insanity that they are letting RFK Jr. trump on his legacy and trump on the need for vaccinations. I was an ER physician for 25 years. I still volunteer. I was with the National Health Service, which is the Hawaii Health Service group that goes into all of our rural areas. I worked as an ER doc all the way through the pandemic in rural healthcare. So I know firsthand exactly what has to be done. I also will tell you that, unfortunately, RFK torpedoed the vaccinations in Samoa when they had their measles outbreak, and I had to go clean it up with a medical mission personally as lieutenant governor at the behest of their government. So, it's a little bit of madness right now that we are doing this with vaccinations. This is one area where we could find common ground. God knows we need the peace because we're all heartsick that there was violence in Utah. We're heartsick about the division in America. But don't let this translate as far as division goes to our kids' health care and their health safety. I'd implore the president and the whole administration, make a change, but let the other healthcare professionals in America make these decisions. Again, let's take healthcare out of the sphere of political combat. It's for our own good.
Hawaii Governor Josh Green, thank you very much for joining us, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.